Hey y'all, what's up? Hey y'all, what's up? Hey. I'm just playing, y'all. What's up, y'all? It's Tia, and I'm back with another video. Today, I will be talking about something really good. A family member actually recommended this video. So if you want to watch, please stay tuned for the rest of the video. Okay, guys. So recently I was on Facebook and I was asking for a couple of topics because I was kind of, having a little moment of like, what should I talk about next on the channel? And I was kind of unsure. So I asked some family members and friends for a topic video, and somebody gave me a really, really good one. So it's not exactly gonna be what they asked, but it's a little spin-off. So shout out to Uncle Arthur, because I will be kind of addressing your topic, but kind of not really. But everything I'm about to say in this video, you can definitely apply to yourself and your life and whatever else is going on right now. The original topic that was asked of me was, how do you rebuild a relationship with a family member if it's been broken or something along those lines? But honestly, I could give all the advice, but ultimately, I will say this without going deeply into that, because I feel like that's a different sort of topic. Start with self. So this video is going to be about ourselves and how sometimes we can point the finger at other people when in fact we really just need to take a look at ourselves. I feel that oftentimes, whether it's a whatever sort of relationship, if it's a personal or even work relationship, I won't really touch on work because that's kind of a little sort of different thing. So I'll specifically just speak on personal relationships. So that is friendships, spouse, kids, and most importantly, the relationship you have with yourself. The relationship you have with yourself is going to be your most personal relationship, and your relationship with God. So I will say this. I think that oftentimes when things are good in relationships, they're good. You know what I mean? Everybody's happy. You guys are having the time of your lives. But in every relationship, there comes a point where it gets a little bit rocky sometimes, or there may be arguments, or you guys are just not seeing eye to eye. And mind you, this is across the board for our relationships. So I don't want anyone to think that this is specifically just intimate relationships or spouse type of relationships. This is for all relationships that you have in your life. And sometimes when those things start to get a little rocky, we tend to kind of point the finger and not really self-analyze. So I feel like some really great questions to ask yourself when you're having a moment with somebody you have a relationship with is, okay, how did I contribute to this? What did I do? What could I have done better? And just kind of self-reflect. I think it's easier to look at other people and say, well, you did this and you said this, and had you never said that, then I would have never said this. Had you never did this, then I would have never did that. To be honest with you, in my opinion, all of that is not a healthy way to go about it. I will say this. I am sort of a contradiction on this. I am not gonna lie. I have been notorious in you did this and you did that and this and that. And ultimately, yes, do not get me wrong, I am all for calling people out and holding them accountable for the things that they say or do, especially in a significant other sort of relationship. So in my instances, I have definitely, like I said, called people out and did this and did that. But we do ourselves a disservice when we don't analyze ourselves and realize the ways we contribute to certain situations. Understand something. If someone does something, like let's say they call you out your name, I am in no way, shape, or form saying take responsibility for what they said. They are an individual, they are a grown up, they're an adult or whatever. Or if they're not a grown up or an adult, they're old enough to know that whatever they're saying is wrong and that they are crossing a boundary. What I am saying is we teach people how to treat us. So if someone is cursing at you, it's because they feel that it's okay to curse at you. Somewhere in you guys' relationship, you made it seem, or maybe made them feel like it was okay to talk to you a certain way. And so instead of getting so up in arms and so upset with them about it, it all goes back to self. You have to analyze yourself and say, okay, you know what? I can either accept it, change it, or leave it. So if someone disrespects you, if you did not set a boundary before, this is your time right now to set that boundary, regardless who it is. And I think sometimes we have in our minds that, oh, because it's my significant other, or it's my friend, or it's my parent, or it's my kid, that these same rules do not apply. And I do not agree with that. You have to set boundaries with and for everybody, regardless of who it is. Your kids, I'm telling you, anybody, because there will be times where if you don't set those boundaries, disrespect will happen. You understand? So you have to self-analyze and you have to say, okay, what do I stand for? What are some boundaries that I'm going to set for everybody? So going back to the example I used about cursing, you have to ask yourself, did I set that boundary with them? Did I let them know that they cannot curse at me? Do I curse at them? Because that's another thing. You cannot set all of these boundaries and then go against the very thing that you're preaching. The first and foremost thing, you need to establish boundaries. Once you establish boundaries and someone disrespects those boundaries, I say have a conversation, because as y'all all know, I love conversations. I love talking. I love, if we can work it out, let's do it. If not, go our separate ways, right? Have a conversation. Hey, listen, I told you that I did not want you to curse at me. You did it anyway. I told you that that is a boundary of mine. You disrespected that boundary. Do you have anything to say? Anything? Give them a chance, give them the floor to speak on what they want to say. Because they may say, you know what, you did and I apologize. You know what I mean? It won't happen again. Or give them an opportunity to explain. Again, not saying that just because they gave you an explanation, that means that you should just be like, okay, great. No, I'm just saying give the other person the opportunity to talk. Okay, once they say their piece, then you still reiterate to them, hey, I understand. I heard what you said. I accept your apology if they gave an apology. And then you say, okay, from here on out, I want you to not disrespect me by cursing at me. I do not curse at you. Please do not curse at me. That's something you can agree to. If they say yes, cool. It's time to make sure you hold them accountable, because now you've locked them into an agreement. And I'm not saying trap them, because I don't want to make it sound like that. It's not really a trap. It's just you establishing your boundaries. So yes, they say agree. Okay, cool. Now, the next time they do it, you yourself have to determine what you're going to deal with and what you're not. And that's what I was saying earlier in the video when I said you show people how to treat you, right? So if they do it again, now you have to make a decision. What am I going to do? I can't change them. So at this point, those options I mentioned earlier, you only got two left, because you can't change them, okay? So you either accept it or you leave it. What are you going to do? Because clearly this person, they don't really care. You can either have another conversation with them or maybe not. I mean, you have to make that determination, and that's what I'm saying. Anytime you have alone time or you don't have a lot of alone time, you need to make some. And even if you got to write it down, you guys, write it down. Listen, I have a spiral right here on the side of my bed. Y'all can't see it, but I be writing, love. I know that sounds crazy. I know that kind of sounds ridiculous, but you have to write down. Be anything, you guys. Boundaries come from all sorts of places, but you have to just say, okay, dang, who am I? What do I stand for? What will I allow? What do I want? What do I want the relationships in my life to look like? What do I want the people who surround me to be like and to look like? What, you have to ask yourself these questions. And out of these questions, I feel that's where you will cultivate boundaries. So if you say, okay, I want people who love me, that means you need to take a look at the people who are currently around you and ask yourself, do they love me? Do they respect me? Do they value me? Oh, this person doesn't respect me. Okay, how did I come to this conclusion that they don't respect me? Oh, well, they don't respect me because they curse at me. Oh, okay, boom. So you associate cursing at you with disrespect. Boom, that's a boundary. Write it down. Oh, this person, they come over my house late. Okay, that's disrespectful to you, right? Write that down. You get what I'm saying? Write everything down. I don't like the way this person talks to me. I don't like the tone that they use. This person yells at me. This person steals from me. You get what I'm saying? You have to cultivate and create your own boundaries list, and it's up to you to enforce them. If someone is disrespecting you or crossing all your boundaries, I want y'all to understand something. It's because you allow it. It's because you allow it. As much as we can be angry at other people and upset with other people for disrespecting us, you're really upset with yourself because you allow it. Do you understand that? We allow these certain things. You understand? And I feel that we have to get out of this mindset that, well, like I said earlier, it's my spouse or it's my kid. Just because this your spouse or your kid or your grandpa or your grandma or your neighbor, it doesn't matter. They need to respect you. And most importantly, you need to respect you. Why would I respect you if you don't respect you? You get what I'm saying? Why would I? And that goes back to what I was saying about being an example. You have to look like what you talk about. You have to be an example of what you're talking about. See, when people see that you about what you say, it's like, it kind of makes them feel like, dang, like, I kind of want to respect them. Or like, dang, like, I know this person is a no-nonsense person about these things. So let me make sure I don't do it. But when you give people kind of like wiggle room to kind of cross you, they gonna take it. And then once they see they can do it once, it's like, oh. And like I told you guys in a previous video, having boundaries that you do not enforce is the same thing as not having any boundaries at all. It's like, I always visualize, like, imagine a kitchen and you have rules on your wall. You got all these rules. No this, no that, no cell phones at the table. But somebody do it and then nobody gets punishment for it. That's what I'm saying. There has to be a level of, this is my boundary, this is what I stand for, this is what I stick to, and if you do not abide by it or you do not agree to abide by it, I can't be around you. I can't deal with you. You understand? And you have to be okay and be ready to walk away from those situations, even if it means walking away from a partnership. Even if it means walking away from your kid. I don't have any kids, so I know that's kind of difficult for somebody who does have kids to hear that and hear me say that. But I feel like that's the truth. Like, it can't be just because somebody is your kid that means they just got free reign to disrespect you. You get what I'm saying? It has to be boundaries. And understand this. You create your boundaries. You create your reality. So if you say, well, you know, me walking away from my kid is kind of difficult. Guess what? Just create a little distance then. Tell them up front. Have a conversation. You guys are adults. And if they're not an adult, then, I get it. It's kind of hard to do. But still have a conversation like, hey, I continue to tell you not to do this. You continue to do it. So this is what's going to happen. You are in charge of your life. You make the rules for your life. And God. But other than y'all two, you make the rules. So whatever you let fly, it's going to fly. Whatever you demand, that's what's going to happen. You have to make people respect you. You have to. It's absolutely necessary. Shout out to Uncle Arthur. I love you. Shout out to the whole fam. Bam. Prayers up for the fam. Prayers up for everybody out there. I know some of y'all like, who is Uncle Arthur? But it's kind of self-explanatory. He's my uncle. Do the best y'all can, man. It's your life. Live it the way you want to. So take from what I said what you will. Do what you can with it and make the best decisions. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys for the next one. Bye-bye.